Yep. And welcome everybody to
Hey,
another
we're on.
episode of Dan-A-Plooza. My guest at this time is a very talented duo. Let's give virtual round of applause for Robert, John, and Jackie. Is it Horvoka? Is that
Horvoka.
how you say it?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
So we want to thank them for being here, and they're going to be talking about their company, which for those watching and future watching, you can check it out. It's J&J Ranch Company. The website is below, so go ahead and see the work that they're involved in. Check out the short film that they've already been a part of, and you can also check out Jackie's book, The 12th Letter, which I saw is available on Amazon. So make sure to go ahead, check, follow, and support. Welcome to the show. Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
having us, Dan.
you. I
So
love
that's
the introduction. I appreciate
the
everything.
yep, that's the plug segment. I eventually want like a plug and something to like move, and then there's like a plug, and it'll be like
There
plug
you
segment.
go.
So we'll
But it was
see if
really good. We love it. We love
Yeah, it
it.
was good.
We
Yeah, I
thank
liked
appreciate
it.
being
you.
here.
Yeah. It's something I've always wanted to do, and I've always watched radio, and I always was like the hype man. So sometimes I like to be the biggest cheerleader for my guest.
There you go. We like that.
Yeah. So let's get into some questions, shall we?
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
so um, I want to start with you, Robert. Robert, as a
You good?
celebrity bodyguard, can you share that experience with me? Like maybe some of the celebrities you've guarded, or just how you fell into that?
Well, one thing is it's a good question because a lot of people get it wrong. They don't know how to act around celebrities, and when they see celebrities in person, they want to know, oh, is it okay to go ask for an autograph?
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't want to interrupt them. They're busy, or I don't want to hear them say no. But the one thing, I worked with presidents. I worked with both of the Bushes, the senior and the son, and I worked with people like TLC, Olivia
Oh,
Newton-John, Sammy Hagar. I mean, I can list goes
wow.
on and on. But one thing, the Oak Ridge Boys, I got to shout out to my friend Joe Bonzel, the Oak Ridge Boys. But working with people like that, the main thing that I've learned is the more you treat them like a person, the more they respect you and your job.
Oh,
You're not
awesome.
going to tell him the cake
Uh,
story with Olivia Newton-John?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, Olivia Newton-John like me, she's not longer with us, but yeah, I went to her birthday party, and she cut me a piece of cake and something I'll never forget because she passed, but the memories will always be there.
aw. I want to say you didn't go chasing no waterfalls when you were with TLC, right?
Oh no, 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 no! I'm trying to see who did I actually have to chase after.
That
There's
would
a
be
lot of rowdy
something good.
ones. Yeah, I think like one of those rock bands like Toto.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
but
Surprised you didn't
I
have
mean,
like a leash or something, like one of those retractors.
yeah, yeah, it's fun. I mean, I'm glad I got the opportunity to hang around with these people. It's something you don't
um,
forget.
you were never like really in any danger or anything like that? Never had to experience
No,
like
the only
anything?
danger when you're if you watch out and you have the right the background and you have everybody practice. I always call it practicing. You got to know your surroundings, your area, who looks suspicious, and people want to rush the stage, and we have to barricade it off and so forth. And I mean, it's a lot of work. You don't get time to sit there and actually talk to the people that you're protecting, unless you get to go backstage if they're doing a concert and you talk before the show, and then you go out and watch everybody during the show, and then again when it's over, you go backstage again. So that's when you do your talking.
I can tell you from my experience that I had to be security for a concert at our school, and it was for Bubba Sparks, and
Okay.
Roscoe P. Coltrane and somebody else, and like they put me like by the door, and I was just like, "Is there
Is that the
nobody
Miss New
bigger
Booty
than
guy?
me?" What's that?
Bubba Sparks, Miss New Booty.
Yo, yeah, yeah, and
Yeah,
so
one of
like,
his biggest hits.
oh yeah, and the fact that they put me there, and then like everybody else is like really big, and so
Yeah.
I just remember like one of the I think one of their bodyguards or bouncer, he's like, "What you gonna do if something comes like this?" I go, "I'm gonna come looking for you," 'cause
That's it. Yeah. Keep your
but
eyes
they
open.
gave us the most generic shirt. Like I had an orange shirt, and they literally took Sharpie and like wrote security, and
See, I
like
got to wear a suit.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it got ripped too. I couldn't even hand it in, like it got ripped like during the show. And that's when I retired.
That's what
There
it
you
is.
go. Yeah, it's enough is enough.
Yep.
Did you keep your shirt?
No, it was ripped in pieces. They went and they just ripped it,
Oh,
So I'm like, here's the Fruit of Loom shirt that was orange written in security.
there you go. That's it. Yeah. Now the guy's wearing that at Walmart.
Yeah. I wanted them to be like, it's gonna come out of your paycheck. My paycheck was like
There you
$30.
go.
Be in the negatives.
That's funny. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
But
funny.
that was just, oh man, that was just such an experience. But so I was reading because I was doing research before I was gonna interview you guys. So I was in my what I call bookworm mode. And
Always good. Always
so
good.
yeah. So when you were doing this and you wrote it as a book, Jackie, when did you decide it couldn't that you want to take it more than a book and make it to the short film?
Well, that is an interesting story, and I've told it only maybe a handful of times. But I was actually at an NRB convention in Nashville, and I was on the first floor. Johnny, what was the name of the hotel?
It's the Opryland Hotel.
Opryland, yeah, that big one, where they have all the conventions and they have several floors and restaurants and everything. And I was on the first floor with my literary agent that morning. And we were just, doing our thing on, with all the other authors. And then I went and met Johnny for lunch, and we had a lunch, and I was going to head back to meet up with my literary agent, Dale Didway. And, so I don't know what happened, but I do write, and I swear I have several degrees, but I can be a dingbat when it comes to directions and easily getting lost because I act like a kid where I just let my eyes wander and check out everything I see. So I got lost, and I ended up on I don't know if it was the second floor or if it was just another like a half floor from where I was supposed to go, but I ended up on the floor with Pureflix. And I was just still a kid in a candy store. I was like, there's no rush. Let me walk around, see what all this is about. And everybody was getting interviewed, and I thought it was the coolest thing. So I was like, let me go see who I can meet on this floor. So I'm just walking around and, wide eyes looking around. And I get to a table, and they had a lady was just arriving, and she put up a sign, and she said, and it said the pitch contest or pitch-a-thon for film, which I was just an author at the time, as you know, because I have a few books published, and that's all I really did. But I saw that, and I was like, So I texted Johnny, I texted Dale, and I was like, if I could get in on this, what do y'all think I should pitch? Should I pitch Phoenix? Should I pitch Aryan Rising? Should I pitch the 12th letter, which I was just finishing up? And Johnny was like, you need to pitch the 12th letter. You need to pitch the 12th letter. Well, I was like, well, let me see if I even get in. Well, the lady, she was like, no, people signed up a year in advance. There are no spots, but you can go sit over there and wait. If somebody doesn't show, you're more than welcome to go into the room with the producers from, the studios that make the movies for Pureflix. And so I was like, okay, I'll just go sit down. It'd be a good chance to meet more people. And a wonderful screenwriter came and sat down next to me, Kimberly, who I love to death, and we've been friends since then, but she sat down next to me and we were just talking. She's like, you know what? Why don't you go pitch for Angel Studios? Because I've already pitched for them and you take my spot. You take my spot. So I was like, oh, okay. So while everybody's going in there, you had different time slots that you would pitch at. And I would watch everyone else go in, and they were bringing like banners and computers and all this stuff. And I just had my phone. I wrote out my pitch that was pretty similar to my book, but I made it more to where it was visually more something that was more stimulating visually, because this is movies. And I just wanted to do it. I just wanted to see, And so I went in, I sat down with Angel Studios, and they were like, wow, because I write science fiction. But they were like, wow, that's different. And they wanted me to actually send in the rest of my, like the synopsis and everything else. But they said, well, we need a proof of concept. Well, at the time, I knew nothing about any of that. And so a good friend who James Quinn, he's in the movie film industry. So Johnny was like, well, we just need to make it into some kind of movie too. So let's see what James, if he's interested. So I contacted James. And then from there, we just kind of turned it into a short film. And since then, well, I jumped ahead of myself because I had to learn a lot about screenwriting. let me back up for just a second. I act like it's so easy, like, oh, I wrote a book and we're just making it into a movie. No. So I was taking classes and online classes. I've hooked up with some amazing people on LinkedIn that I've done video meetings with to help me make a great screenplay. James even helped, especially on the short part of it, because we had to cut. You're taking a 300-page novel and breaking it down into, I don't know, I think it was like 15 pages to do a short film. And that's a lot to cut. And you got to leave your viewers wanting more. And it's hard to do that when you're cutting out a lot of what makes the character special. And and in my head, what made them special in their journeys and things like that. But I had to learn to do that. So it was tough. And then when I turned around after that, after the short film, and continued on with the full feature screenplay, I'm still, I mean, it's won awards, the full feature screenplay has, but I'm still working on tweaking a lot of it to make it into just 2 hours, because there's so much in a novel. It's really, it's very different from writing a book, and it takes a lot of work. I've learned so much, and I'm so appreciative for everybody that I've had help me along the way. So I'm glad Johnny said, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's do the movie. Let's spend all our money.
And then some.
A lot of amazing people that donated. Let me tell you, they came out. They donated. But what I will tell, anyone that's wanting to go from book to film, because that's basically what our business, what we help people do, we help them get their books published and then take the steps to going into film, is you still have to have skin in the game. There's going to be a lot of money that's spent that is not necessarily going to come from donors. It costs a lot more than you think. This stuff's not cheap. But if you really believe in yourself and you believe in your story, you can make it happen. You can do it. And then if you have an amazing husband who believes in you and stands by you and stays positive, even when you're like, how are we going to pay this bill? You can do it. It can happen, because you need that support system. So, yeah, that was a crazy story. That's how it happened.
Making the impossible possible.
Oh, yeah. Never say never.
Yep.
Exactly. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in the product.
Oh, yeah. So what made you decide that it was time to do this kind of like screenwriter and author? Like, what made that decide that was the fit for you?
Well, I've always loved movies. I used to write little books when I was little. Like, I'd put together these books and write the stories, and then I would always see it in my head. I would see the story as a movie in my head. So growing up, that was always something that I naturally saw. Like when you open the floodgates, the water just comes and you see it all. And I always heard the music, everything. But when I started writing books, it was just the easier thing to do. I guess writing books isn't easy. I'm not saying that, but because I have 3 kids, at the time it was something I could do with my full-time job and do on the weekends and, just get that creative, tap into that side of me that makes me happy, my creative side. So once we started down the path of, I had been published for 7 years, many years before we went down the path of going into the film industry. But once I started down that path, it's just like, that's just pushed me forward so much further than I ever imagined and I'm still writing, I'm working on another novel, but screenwriting and all the amazing people we've met in the film industry, like just recently, Tommy Anderson, he's amazing. Curtis, Anton, amazing. Oh my gosh, we are meeting some amazing people. And Shar, we just our producer just had a meeting with her. And these are all people in California that they are just excited about working with us, and we're excited about working with them. So it's just like it was meant to be, what I had dreamed of since I was a little kid, 5 years old, climbing up on the roof of my house. Or no, not 5. I was about 10 when I did that. And writing songs and books and things like that to kind of escape, to get that out of me, that creative side, tap into that. And it was a stress relief. Well, now it's coming true. So I'm so thankful.
And it's one of those things that, I think you've enjoyed it over a period of time, and like the fact that you can do this actually for a living, because a lot of the times people don't think that they can do that, because we've seen how sometimes stuff is, up and down with COVID. And were either one of you impacted as far as being creative people during the pandemic?
It wasn't really impacted in that way, anything on the creative side, because as a novelist at that time, I could be at home writing, and it didn't stop book sales. In fact, more people started reading books because they weren't going to theaters. The thing with COVID that just really was hard on me is I had gotten COVID, and I still have the migraines that could be related to that. We don't know yet. So that I do post about that a lot. Just letting people know that I struggle with that. I have a coworker that struggles with the migraines, and it's hard because, we're trying to work, and some days you just can't work. And that's just been the hardest. But as an author, it didn't affect anything on the business side. And then we started the film side after COVID. So we are seeing, it's moving a little slow, picking back up in the movie industry. And then now we have the writer's strike, and the actors have, their own strike. So there's things that possibly have kind of come down from or have happened because of COVID. And it made it difficult, and it's making it difficult, but we're going to survive it, and we're going to keep making movies, entertaining people, because that's why God gave us this gift. So we'll just keep doing it.
Will, because you just said "I will survive," will the song "I Will Survive" play as you're doing?
That's it. Yep. I'm a survivor.
Basically, I'll let Johnny sing it. He can carry it.
Singing that.
Yeah, you like to sing.
Yeah, but now I'm on more of the film side.
Yeah, he does a lot of the publishing too. He's been great. Okay. He's tech. He's all tech.
I do. I mean, I do the publishing, and then
Oh
I do
wow.
some of the directing. What else do I do? I own the company.
He handles the money.
I do the finances. So basically, she's the author, and she gives me what I need to do to put on the screen.
Yep, that's basically what it is. I
It's
meet
a
with
good
the
team. Yeah, we're a good team.
Yeah, we are. It's like he handles the things that the creative side of me doesn't want to, and you would never even know it because I have a degree in business management and accounting,
Yeah.
but I don't. I got that for to make money, to have a job, but that's not what I enjoy. I enjoy writing and music and things like that. So I let him do all that now.
Yeah, because I'm not a big reader.
The same. I'm usually like, I get to it later.
Yeah. I'm a more visual person.
Me
Y'all need
too.
pictures?
Me too.
Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
you got any pic? Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I need illustrations.
If it's pictures, I've seen it.
Oh gosh.
You want to come say hi? You want to meet one of our amazing pets? Likes to jump in and make a cameo. Say
Oh,
hi,
hey,
Tilly.
What's her name?
That's Tilly.
Tilly.
Hi,
And
Tilly.
Tilly is my cohort.
There you go.
Like, we both enjoy our naps and Ben and Jerry ice cream. That's something that, like, I tell anybody, like, if anybody like would ever like try to like jump our place or something, I was always like, if you take the Ben and Jerry's ice cream, like, it's on, because like the cat will jump off the fridge and I'll get you too. So, I'm always like, that is the thing not to take.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. Take the money and the jewelry, just don't take the ice cream.
Yeah, pretty much.
We have a Pieces and a Tux.
Aww.
Those are our cat. Because my youngest son's name is Reese, so he called his cat that we got at the animal shelter Pieces. Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces. That's
and
adorable.
then my daughter Claire named our other one Tux, because he looks like he's wearing a tux. We love our cats and our dog. We love our animals.
Yeah.
We have Tilly. Tilly's about 6, and Seely is 8. They're both great tabby cats. Tilly, she's now in the toy box. She likes to throw stuff on the toy box. Like, if I'm not, like, she has her toy box fit. And then we have Lizzie. Lizzie is 2 and was just adopted as a Cocker Spaniel that was just meant to breed, and like was put in a box in the corner before they went to the shelter. So she doesn't know how to be a dog. So I'm trying to teach her. Like, she doesn't understand like to clamp on the bone and then run. She just puts it in her mouth and then drops it and then runs. She hasn't learned that it's a whole process. You gotta bite down and
That's
run.
it. Yeah. And come with directions.
Exactly. But so she was pretty much meant to make puppies, and then like, no, they didn't want her then anymore. So we took her. We got her all the way from Ohio, but she's like very energetic, but she hasn't learned to like sit. She'll run and then just kind of like lay. She hasn't learned that she's got to like run, stop, sit. She runs, crashes in you, and then looks at you. It's
Our dog is getting old. She doesn't run anymore. When we do babysit our neighbors or our friends' animals, their dogs, and they come over, they're usually younger, and they wear India out. She is just, she barks. She can't stand that. She's like, Mommy and Daddy, why are you doing this to me? I am too old for these stupid puppies.
But she can still jump in the truck.
She can still, if she knows
she can jump.
Even if she hears the keys. She'll run to the door to the garage where the truck is, because she's excited. She can still jump in the truck.
She's my co-pilot.
When she needs to, she can.
Sitting there ready for an adventure.
Oh yeah, she's ready.
And
McDonald's hamburgers, Johnny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I take her to lunch. Yeah, sometimes I take her to lunch.
I take Tilly to Dairy Queen, so I'm like,
There you go.
but,
See, you know how it is.
yeah. I'm like, they
Not
don't have it. It's
Yeah,
like, ask.
oh,
exactly.
But, so with the film and the book, have you had viewers and readers read the book and watch the film and make comparisons, or have mostly people been reading the book or just watching the film? Have you had people
nothing
see both?
together. Yeah, nothing
Okay.
together because the film, we had just finished it. Oh, goodness. We did some showings October, November, and then it had to go to film festivals. And we've been, since it's a short film, we were back and forth on releasing it or waiting and going full feature on it, since I had the full screenplay ready at that time after November. So we've not actually released the short film. The book has
Okay.
been published. It's out there. We're getting great reviews. You know, it's doing amazing. I've got a book signing in Galveston Labor Day weekend. So if anybody wants to come down to Texas, go to the beach. I'm doing a book signing that weekend. But we are starting work on the full feature now. So once that is finished, well, we're starting, but we have to wait for that the actors strike to be done.
Yeah.
So we won't
Okay.
actually start, yeah, the
Good.
actual filming till they get done with that, and we can negotiate with actors and things like that. But the people that have seen the short film, they've been very emotional. So we know we're onto something to help our veterans and to help raise awareness for veteran suicide.
Mhm.
So I feel pretty confident that we've made a great movie, even just the short, and that it will get the message that we need to get out to the masses about us losing about 22 veterans a day to suicide. In fact, you know, right now Central Time was at 7 o'clock. We've probably already lost maybe 19 or so veterans today.
Aw.
So when people really look, I don't know, they hear 22 a day, but I don't think they really grasp what that means. You know,
Right.
already we probably already lost maybe about 19 or so. That's how bad this is. And that's our mission, that's why we kind of wanted to hold off on the short film and make it a full feature, because I feel like we will reach more by doing that. And we'll get people kind of like Sound of Freedom right now. We will raise awareness for a need that will help people, that it's not just about making money. It's about getting people to realize, okay, how can I help veterans? You know, what can I do? What can my kids do? Maybe I have a child that wants to be a psychiatrist. My daughter's going to college for psychiatry. So, you know, how can I talk to her and see if maybe she would want to look into helping veterans? Well, what about other veterans that are, thinking about going back to doing outreach programs to help our combat military that come back and they're struggling. They've, even if they're, just got back from deployment, those guys and women need to be, they need someone to talk to. So we need counselors, we need psychologists, there's so much we need. But that's our plan. We want to help because these are our heroes. They made a choice to do this for us, and we can't forget that, because the reason why we're having this meeting right now is because we live in a free country that we can talk like this. The reason why I got to say God just 10 minutes ago is because we live in a country that Johnny fought for, so that we could be free to say God. And I don't want us to forget about that. I want us to realize that our kids are going to college. Our kids are going to school. We've got food on the table. We have electricity. We're not worried about being invaded because of these soldiers. So anyway, but that's our mission. And hopefully we'll get finished with the filming within the next year or so and get that out to everyone, because it actually has done well, just a short film, at film festivals all over the world. It's not just America that
Wow.
is embracing it, even though it's about a Marine veteran, you know, United States Marine. They are loving it. I mean, they've given us awards in India, Italy, France, Canada.
Wow.
We are worldwide.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
see the value in helping the people who fight for you, you know, taking care of them. We don't need to be feeding any more homeless people that are veterans, because my daughter and I did that a few years back, and we saw, you know, it's ridiculous. I get serious, but that's why I wrote what I wrote. That's why I wrote the story. So it just shouldn't be happening.
Right. And I appreciate you doing that. My father and my stepfather were veterans, both of the military, that are no longer here. So I appreciate what you're doing. It looks like we're about out of time. So I'd like to go ahead and thank my guests, Robert, Johnny, and Jackie Horvoka. And
Yes, sir.
and thank you for watching Dan-A-Plooza. Everyone stay tuned. Luscious D will be on at 9 o'clock. Have a good night.